Well, ecMON. ecMON is we're a little bit proud of this service. I think we have a good feature set right now, and we expect to expand it in the future with more features. But right now, I think it's fairly complete, and it's pretty much a service for you as a reseller uh, to facilitate the management and the configuration and the monitoring of these units that you have on the field. It doesn't matter if there are QX appliances, if there are, if it is our hosted ecQX, or if it is your own hosted uh, QX, ecQX ISO image. All of those three can be monitored and available on the ecMON platform. So we're going to run that in our servers. You're going to pay a subscription for it. Currently, you can buy that in our store for $20 a system per year monitoring, or if you have 10 devices, it costs about $15 per device for 10 devices or more per year. Okay, so you pay that up front, and then you get the monitoring capability for one entire year. But it is a service again for monitoring and management, configuration management. Uh, and essentially, what it does is that it lets you give better service to your customers. I mean, it's all about being able to, with the alerts that you get on the events, you're going to be able to respond more quickly to your customer needs. I mean, it's all about being more responsive. We always say that it's one of these uh, uh, opportunities to being proactive instead of reactive, and a good example of that would be if you have bad quality call events to alert you via an email. You're going to get notified if a customer is having a bad quality call. Now, what you do with it is up to you, but it goes a long way if you're able to see a recurring problem with that, and you can call your customer and tell them that you notice that the calls are bad quality, and let's just see what's going on. What is the issue? If it is a network issue, if it is a phone issue or trunk or whatever. And it goes a long way because instead of you waiting for your customer to be very upset about this problem because it has been happening for quite some time, by the time he calls you, it may be too late. So it gives you the ability to figure out, be alerted about these things happening, and be more responsive. So another thing you can do is that you can do certain configuration control, and I would explain a little more later, but essentially lets you manage your configurations and store them, restore them, and upload them on the system through the ecMON portal. At the end of the day, it's about providing better customer service. I mean, that's what it's all about. So with ecMON, you can see on a directory assigned to you, and again, you can have a combination of all three types of devices, but you're going to be able to see there in the table. First of all, is your devices are active, communicating with ecMON or not, and they will come up in red when they're not available. So you're going to see that, and you're going to get a notification of that also. You can see some basic settings such as what firmware version you have, what is the unique ID, what is the host name you assign to it, how much time that device has been up, okay, and or in the case that is disconnected, how much time has been disconnected. And it also shows you the amount of register endpoints, register phones that you have on the system. So there's some options there to see on a graph, on a historical way, on a range, like a time range. You can see CPU utilization, so it can tell you if the CPU is getting a little bit overloaded or not, and also the number of simultaneous calls at any given time. Usually helps you see how your customer is doing calls, or how many calls are doing in the system. Very valuable information for a reseller. You can get over 70 events. Now, we do have all these events on the QX system, and typically they either send you an SMS or you can send an email program directly on the QX system. But what we did is that we extended that so that you can do the same on ecMON, receive these events on ecMON, and then on ecMON configure which ones you want them to alert you via an email so that you can take action. Okay. The other one you can do, which is one of the latest features, is that you can remotely log in to the QX devices. Now, this is particularly important for appliances, QX appliances, because many of those you may have behind a company router. And if you don't open ports in the router to access your QX device remotely, you will not be able to do so. But with ecMON, you can configure it so that it could open a temporary VPN and allow you to access a device remotely from the ecMON tool and change configurations or changes on the GUI of the system, and then close it up. And we can also have an option there to allow you to access the phones that are behind the QX device directly too. It's a little more involved. It requires a chaining option on your browser, but in any case, it gives you the ability to be able to reach the device and the phones remotely, and you don't have to drive to your customer for making simple configurations that you may do through this tool. Okay, as far as someone is complaining that there's no audio. Let me see. Can I get a response from you guys if you're hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
You are? Okay, thank you. I think one of the guys having a problem. Okay. As far as other features that you can do with ecMON, let me see. What license? You also get a notification what licenses you have active on the device. You can back up and restore your configuration. Actually, let me go back one slide here. Yeah. Now that one is really interesting. So you can save a config from a QX device into ecMON, or you can restore it from ecMON, and you can have several of them there, or you can upload or download from ecMON to your PC. So let's say that you have a template config that you massage on your lab, and you want to use that as your baseline to load up on some units. You can upload that into your ecMON and then assign it to certain ecMON devices, and then upload it into I'm not ecMON devices. I'm talking about ecQX devices, and then upload it on the ecQX, whether it's a cloud or an appliance. Okay, so it doesn't allow you to create a configuration on the tool, for example, create extensions and all of that. I mean, it doesn't allow you to do that, but it allows you to manipulate the configurations. And a lot of the people, what they do is that on their lab, they have a unit, they log into it, they create a vanilla flavor type config that they use, and then that's a file that you're going to upload into the ecMON tool. Okay. As far as you can also do software updates on the units, and you can schedule reboots on the units. Some people want to reboot it like Sunday in middle of the night. They like to do that. I don't see a reason for it, but if you want to do it, you can schedule reboots through the ecMON tool. Okay. Now here's some of the events that we report. Obviously, there are many more, but for example, you can have a notification the system had rebooted. You can have a notification that you had a credit amount on a certain route and it expires, so it closed that route. You can have the code quality warning that I was mentioning earlier. You can have an event that tells you that if you have a redundant system, the redundant system is down, so you want to check out what's happening in there. If we try to send a call recording to an external FTP server and there was a failure in that, we can get an alarm. An IP phone registration, that's probably a common one. You lose an IP phone registering into the system. if someone logged in into the unit, and if there's been a software update. And these are, again, just some examples. Okay, as far as the gateways, all we want to mention on this slide is that we do have failover capability. And by that, what I mean, if you look at this picture, you see that we have an ecMON and an ecQX on the cloud. We have Office extensions registered to the ecQX, and maybe even remote extensions. Really doesn't matter where your phones are located. And then you have an ITSP termination to the PSTN. But you could actually have, if this customer is an important customer, our FXO or E1 gateway on-prem, and you can have the failover option activated on the gateway, which means that these extensions can register, especially the ones on the Office here, 201, 202, 203. They can route the gateway, and they also register as extensions to the hosted platform. In case you got a broadband loss, the phones on the registration to the gateway, they can do outbound call through the gateway through your FXO or E1 port. And the same on the vice versa. On the receiving side, you can have calls coming in from the PSTN to the gateway and reach your extensions. And the reason you can do that is because our gateways include an auto attendant on the unit. It is by default includes an auto attendant. So you can have an incoming FXO call, go to the auto attendant of the gateway, and from there you can dial your extensions and reach anyone inside the company. So now you have inbound and outbound call capability during a hosted fail situation or a broadband fail situation. Plus you can do extension to extension calling. Now, a lot of the ITSPs, they do have a default cell number or PSTN number you can use in case you're not reachable on your platform, and you can put that number to be this FXO line, for example. Okay, so again, it's not for everyone. Some people don't want to buy the unit or pay for the PSTN line, but if you have an important customer, that will be a good option for them. As far as pricing, again, ecQX in the US hosted by us. On the portal, there's a store. It is $5 per extension per month. We also have call recording as an option, audio conference, and call center as an option. And again, the reseller gets the account, and you price that up to your customer as you see fit. We don't dictate the end customer price. Whatever you can get away with is what is up to you. It is order paid through PayPal, so it's all automatic monthly, and you mark it up as desired. Now, outside of the U.S., like I was saying earlier, you tell me what you want, and we'll give you a very, very competitive price on a per extension basis with the features that you want. And of course, the ecMON is included on all this. Competitive advantages, well, everything is designed in-house. As many of you know, we don't use asterisk or open source. We always done all our software, our hardware, everything from scratch. So we have a better control of the feature set that we want to add to the product line. Extensive experience, over 19 years on the Quadro, on the QX line of products. Very good technical support and training modules. Integration with pretty much any SIP phone out there. As a matter of fact, we're adding an Alcatel business line to the approved phones coming up soon. Many testing with many SIP trunk providers, and I will say that SIP trunking nowadays is so mature, it's very hard to have a problem with a SIP trunk provider nowadays. But in any case, we'd like to test and announce the ones that we have tested with. No startup costs or long-term contracts. And then you can combine cloud service with on-prem. I mean, most of the other cloud vendors do not have appliances. We do. So if you have customers that are comfortable using cloud on the smaller side, but then on a big location they want to use an on-prem system, either because they want to invest on it and save long-term, they don't want to do the recurring model, then you can do both with Epygi, because we have both options for you. Okay. And as far as how to reach those cells at Epygi.com, if you want a demo, we can activate an ecQX for you and let you play with that on our ecMON platform. And what I would like to do is just briefly show you a screen on the ecMON. Give me a second here. Okay, let me see. Actually, what I'm showing first is our ecQX Epygi Cloud. And if I go here, I'm already logged in. If I look here and look at some of my devices, actually, I'm going to see a whole bunch of devices in here, but I can probably go to, you'll see a list of all your devices. And as far as, you know, how many are active, are inactive, and the store. I want to show up here in the store. I don't have anything on the store at this moment, but if I go to my Cloud QX, okay, I can order here. As you can see, ecQX, instance, adding iPhone extensions, call recording, call center, and so forth. So I can go to ecQX, I go to my cart here, all right, and then I can select how many of these I want, and I can go to checkout. So it's no different than any other store, okay? And then here there's a pay. It's very hard to see on your screen, but there's a, once I enter information about that instance, that I can go to place an order via PayPal. Okay, so that is just a way to do it all online. The other web page I wanted to show you is our ecMON. You can see it on the screen here. Tigran, which is one of our tech guys, test account here, just to give you an idea. And essentially, Tigran has several devices. There are different icons. Here he has 4 devices, 5 devices that are physical appliances, and he's got 2 devices that are ISO type images, okay, which are this other one. And you can see almost all of them are not available right now except one, who is a QX 3000 unit. But you can see the unique ID, what type of price plan, what type of activation time it has, a firmware version, and so forth. And you can actually click in here, and you can, hold on a second, I got to log in again because it logged me out. Let me go back again to Tigran. Hold on a second for users. Hold on a second. Okay, I go to Tigran again, and I can go to this QX device, and here I can see licenses activated, information about the device itself. I can see some system load. For example, if I look at this week, I can see load information on the CPU. He hasn't done any active calls on this device. Pending events, there's none to display because he has actually cleared them all, but you would have several events shown in here. I can see what configuration he has backed up. One configuration on the 7th of this month, and you can have several of them shown in here. He doesn't have any firmware update schedule. And then on configuration, you can actually do this remote access configuration part. What this will do is that it will give you a period of time to be able to do a remote access on the device. I think if I wait a couple of minutes, this will change to essentially giving the remote access to it. Okay. I requested it, but I'm waiting for the confirmation. Let me go check it again. Okay, it was trying to do establish a connection to it, but here we go. If I go back to it, I can see here a button, GUI access, and if I hit GUI access, now I'm getting to the configuration login of this device at the customer on-prem. And of course, I can use my login credentials. So very, very powerful capability. Okay. All right. Let me go back to the last slide. Give me a second here. Okay. So pretty much we're done as far as if you want a demo of this ecQX or our ecMON, you let us know and we'll work out a 1-month demo for you at no cost at all. If you need to talk to me, you got our phone number here, or send us an email at sales@epygi.com, and we will have this presentation posted, and also anything that you need moving forward, let me know. We're going to have other sales presentations for some other topics coming up, in addition to the technical ones that are already scheduled. So at this time, I'm going to turn on all the microphones. Let's see if there's anyone that would like to have any questions. I'm looking at the chat. The chats are pretty much about audio. You can hear me. Is there an automatic backup available for ecQX with email notification, or is backup done by Epygi? If we are hosting the servers, we will have them backed up. If our server crashes, we will get another one going right away. And then what we don't guarantee for you is the broadband connection. But as far as the server is concerned, if we're hosting it, we will have a backup for that. Okay. Does ecMON an external static IP? No, you don't need to have an external static IP in order to communicate with ecMON from either from an appliance or an instance. Can you show calling features on ecQX? I don't know what that means, but if it is the help that we have for how to do the calling features, we do have that on the login screen. But I'm not sure that is if I'm answering the correct question here. You may clarify via text. If QX appliance is put on the highest security, can ecMON still access it? It should, but that's a good question. I will have to check that and get back to you, Toon, on this, because I'm not sure if you can do that, but it should. He meant call forwarding. I guess, Toon, I'm going to take, since I know you, I'm going to take these questions separately so we don't take people's time in here, okay? But in any case, I want to thank all of you for participating today. Stay tuned for other webinars that we're going to have moving forward, and have a great afternoon. Goodbye.